You there?
Hello,
Oh, I can hear you. Who's that?
it's Kirsten.
Awesome. Hi, Kirsten.
Hey.
How are you?
Challenged.
Yeah? Awesome.
Yeah, my computer that I've had for 4 years went wanky last night, so I had to buy a new one, and so I'm trying to figure out how to get everything back to normal.
Hmm. Good problem to have. Good problem to have. Um, I see Elliot's on, Kristen's on. I'm sure some other people will be logging on here soon. Welcome, Kristen. You finally made it. So, okay. So today, um, let's go ahead and start off with what are the challenges so far this week? How's it going with the calls? Who would like to start? Anyone? No one? You guys are hiding. How are the calls going? Are you guys making your calls?
This is Kirsten. I haven't made calls yet, but I've finally figured out, I think, well, I'm still trying to figure out what system I'm going to use. I talked to RedX and they said they have better leads than Mojo.
Okay.
So, um, and I realized that I'm leaving in September for a month, so I might wait till I get back to get all set up.
Okay. So with the program, you get 1 month um, with a land voice for free. It's included.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So don't go paying for anything. The program's designed that you really don't need anything else. So um, the challenge with RedX is that they sign you into a contract, and you can't get out of that contract. Their leads are good, their system's good, yet the system to use it is difficult. So the interface is difficult. It's not so each morning you have to get up, you have to log on, you have to access the MLS, you have to download it back in, and it creates such a delay that my experiences with people that have RedX, they typically don't get around to calling is the challenge.
Uh-huh.
So so I would recommend staying with LandVoice and use the free systems for now until you get the habit of making the calls, and then after that, then you can go ahead and decide on a different system if there's something that you so choose.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I Yeah, I didn't realize that the land voice was free with the program. So,
It is. You just have to contact Chad Bobo at LandVoice. So
okay.
if you call there and it's extension 120, okay?
All right, thanks.
You bet. You bet. So you say you're leaving in September? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for the month of September.
Okay.
I'm going to Europe for the first time.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So are you concerned about generating business before you leave?
Well, not I'm not necessarily wanting to generate too much more because I have quite a bit in play right now. But I want to be prepared when I get back to really go into the winter, being really strong on calls and getting everything lined up for, the rest of the year and the beginning of next year. I want to come back and be strong on that,
Yeah. 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 So one of the things, like if I was like coaching you, right?
which you kind of are at the
Which
moment.
I kind of am at the moment. If you were so to be coached, let's just put it that way, I would recommend to go ahead and start making calls now. And worst case scenario, right? You get a lead that wants to list their home. So could you find a solution if that happened? If you found a lead, if somebody said, "Yeah, actually, I do want to sell."
Yeah, I'm sure I could talk with my managing broker and find out what options I have within the brokerage to help satisfy my customer while I'm out of town.
Okay, okay. And would that be good or bad? The result of that?
Oh, that'd be good. I mean, it's all a win.
Yeah. Okay. So the most important thing with this program that you're going through is establishing the habit of making the call. That is, there's nothing more important that can be accomplished in the next few weeks than just getting in the habit. Okay. So that's why I
Uh-huh.
say that. By delaying 2 months, August through September, and then starting up in November, the challenge is then you would have to build the habit. And by the time you get the habit established through October or November, the market's already kind of past you,
Mhm.
right? So by building the habit over the next 4 weeks, then when you come back, you can move right back into that habitual behavior. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mute you and see if anybody else has any questions. Okay. Anybody else have questions about this week? I'm also curious to know where you guys are in the program and get some feedback to find out if there's anything missing, or if you have questions on anything. So let's open it up for questions. No questions so far. The program is so dang good that there's no questions. All right. Let's go ahead and then discuss some of the objection handlers that you're going to get. And so on your screen, you should have a list there of a couple of the objection handlers. And there's many objection handlers that are important, yet there's some that are very common that you're going to receive over and over again. And when you get into the listing presentation part of the which is comes up in step 5 for your module 5 is the listing presentation. You're going to see that to prepare for the listing presentation, there's a certain number of objections you're going to be prepared to get. So first off is your commission's too high, and or will you take less for your commission, right? And so oftentimes people take this as as that the consumer somehow wants to take your money or doesn't see value in you. And the first thing I want to just note is that you just have to kind of disconnect from that. It's not that they don't see value in you. It could be that they don't see value in you, but more likely they're just asking the question. If your presentation's good, and you're confident about the way you moved into the conversation, and you still hear that your commission's too high, will you do it for less? Or it comes across as, I spoke to Jim over at XYZ company, and he said he would do it for less. The objection handler is to just move them into a conversation. So to kind of back down and get back to their motivation with where is that question coming from? So one way to do that is to ask the simple question is, what I hear you say is that you're looking to net as much money as you can, right? Or walk away with as much money as you can. So because in their minds, they think if they are paying you less commission, that somehow they're going to have an opportunity there to make more money, which the way to overcome that is to establish again that you're going to help them sell the property at a higher market value than another potential agent. Additionally, that you're able to provide additional resources to them that maybe that they can't provide on their own. That could be customer service, ease of use, convenience, those kind of things, which are also tangible to a consumer. So 3 things I want to just mention on that. So number 1 is it's not always about the money to them. It's about convenience. Number 2 is they want to net more money, not necessarily save money. And the third piece is having them also understand that when it comes to commission, you kind of get what you pay for, right? So as you can see here on the scripts, it says, we are not the cheapest agent you can hire. We don't try to be, we don't want to be. And picking the best agent on how little they charge is a terrible way to choose. So just making them very apparent that there are times where you pay more for certain things, and when are those times? It's the times that that's important, right? That's the key to the conversation. So Let's see. We got a question from Kristen. Oh, you guys can't see it. Hmm. Kristen, let's see. You cannot see the screen, huh? Let me try to go back here. I unmuted you, Kirsten. Can you see it now?
All I can see is it says weekly webinar organizer on the GoToWebinar viewer. I'm
Hmm.
assuming that's where you're sharing information.
Yeah, let me just open up my whole screen then. Okay. Thank you for saying that. I assumed you guys could see my screen. No wonder. You guys are like, huh, I don't see nothing. Okay. How about now? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll mute you again. Okay. So overcoming the commission objection again is important to understand. It's not always about you. If you're hearing this objection at times, it's just because somebody is just looking to see if you're willing to negotiate your commission. Think about a time where maybe you went to go buy something that's expensive, right? An expensive car, an expensive suit, it doesn't matter what it is. If you can get a deal on that, you feel better about your purchase. And so oftentimes when you're presenting your commission structure, if they feel like that they're getting a better deal, it's easier for them to swallow and make a commitment. So the way I suggest moving into this is your strategy around commission is to have a little bit of wiggle room involved. So when they do give you this commission pushback, you're able to say, yeah, as a matter of fact, because you are, and associate it back to somebody they are, or something that they're doing, because you are a referral from Jones, I'm going to go ahead and give you my referral discount of, say, $400 or $500. Does that, is that acceptable to you to move forward today? And now move for the close and get the contract signed. Oftentimes I'll hear the objection handler, which is, will you accept less commission for or will you sell it for less? And people will just say no. That will work occasionally. It won't work every single time. People still do look for opportunities for a good deal. And so simply by shutting them down with a no might turn off, 5 or 10% of the people that you're in conversation with. So I don't necessarily suggest that technique in this case. All right. So next objection that you're going to hear is, again, the other agent said that they would charge less. And so positioning yourself in a way that you acknowledge to them that a professional full-time real estate agent is different than maybe what they might be going up against. So the strategy with this looks like, if you could follow the psychology that says, a professional full-time real estate agent typically charges a range of blank to blank. I am obviously a full-time professional real estate agent. This is all I do. So making it very clear to them that you're committed to the career that you're in. Then moving through the understanding that in real estate, the marketing has a fee, your company takes a fee, the IRS takes a fee, and that what is left over is left for you. So I like the script that Ben Kinney has, which is the $6 is what he talks about. He says, if I have $6 here and 3 of these dollars go to the other broker as a co-oping commission, and then $1 goes to the IRS and to my company, $1 goes to your marketing, and then the third dollar goes to me. So therefore, I'm not getting all $3. And if I was to charge less, or if this other agent's to charge less, what dollar do you think that they're going to take away? And of course, the answer would be the marketing, right? They're going to take away your marketing. How do you think that would affect your sales price? So if you can move them to that understanding of psychology that by them actually paying you less, that they're going to end up wounding themselves in the future or shooting themselves in the foot by not having the highest quality representation or highest quality marketing, and therefore they're going to net lower money, will typically get them over the hump of hiring somebody who's less expensive. Now, occasionally you will come across people who just simply are in a situation where they have to net less money, or they have less money to walk away with or to deal with. And at those cases, I look at it as an opportunity cost. Am I going to lose money on this? Am I going to make money on this? Am I going to gain referrals in the long run from this? And am I doing the right thing? And if I analyze it that way, then at times, of course, we'll take properties at a lesser commission if it makes sense for the long-term growth of the business. The next objection we'll cover is, what's the next one here? Next one is, I believe my house is worth more. So again, you're in a situation where, the comps say the house is worth 480. They acknowledge the fact that the house is worth in a range between 460 and 490,000. Yet they come back to you and they say, well, I just really feel like my house is nicer than the comparables that you have, and/or I just need to walk away with more money, right? So in this psychology, in this script, is to understand that what we want to show them is that we're going to net them the most the market will bear, that no other agent is going to actually be able to obtain a higher price because the market's going to dictate that by the sheer law of supply and demand. And of course, supply and demand suggests that in the event that demand is there, the higher the demand, the higher the price. The lower the demand, the lower the price. So if we can drive traffic to the property, then we're going to be able to drive up the price, right? So understanding that your job is to drive traffic to the property. Their job is to price and condition the property correctly. If you can overcome that objection right there, then they always own the price. We're not dictating to them what the price is. We're not going in and saying, I'm going to get you $480,000 for the house, or I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to get you $480,000 for the house. We're going to get them the most the market will bear. That may be $480,000. That might be $460,000. That might be $550,000. It's whatever the market will bear. Yet our job and our highest and best use as an agent is to drive traffic to the property, right? That's where we need to focus our time and attention, is driving traffic to the property. And they have to condition the property within their budget, and they have to price it correctly in order to get the home sold. So another technique that's important to note is a lot of times sellers will try to lump together you with the price. So you go through your listing presentation, you're moving to close the contract. You say the next thing we have to do is just sign the contract, and they give you pushback. And that pushback looks like this. It says something simple like, well, if you can get us $500,000 for the house, then we'll list with you. So at this point, what they're doing is they're trying to group us together with the price, and they're trying to make their decision with whichever agent is going to be the one that is going to tell them which is the highest price. So that's their psychology by selecting the agent, is whichever agent will say that they're going to get us the highest price is the agent we're going to choose. So we need to isolate the objection. That's the key here, is isolating the objection. So as you can see here on the screen, it says, other than the price, is there any other reason you wouldn't list with me tonight? Now, if you're secure on the value, if you understand that this is the right value on the property, and you say, you know that the comps are accurate, you've got multiple comps that are testifying that this is the right thing, you can move into this script. The current local real estate market is the determining factor in the value of your home. I don't make the market, I just interpret it. If there was any chance it would sell for more money, I would take it. What I can guarantee is that I will expose the greatest amount of buyers to your home, so you will sell it for the most the market will allow. So you're, again, stating the fact that this is the highest value that you can justify through your comps. Now, if they're unwilling at this point to list with you, and they're greater than 5% outside the market, then at that point you may want to use a strategy which is just simply the walk away strategy, which is this script, which is not on the screen in front of you. This script is, I would rather walk away now than let you down later, right? Because if I truly felt that I could sell your property for this, I would take that chance. Yet what would happen if I list the property at this is over 3 months, you're going to start getting frustrated. At 4 months, you're going to get angry. And at 5 months, you're going to hate me. And I would rather sustain a relationship with you today and walk away friends than have you dislike me later. Sometimes this script will disarm the consumer and make them realize that you're not working for the commission. You're not willing to just list a property for the sake of listing properties, that you're actually in it for their best interest. Now, the second script is understanding if you are unsure of the value, right? And so again, we're going to isolate the objection, but we're unsure of the value. Other than price, is there any other reason you wouldn't list with me tonight? They say, no, if you can get us $500,000 for the property, we'll sign the contract. Now, we're unclear of what the actual value is. Roosevelt once said, there's no hard decisions, just simply not enough information. What I suggest we do tonight is we'll finish the paperwork. I'll go back to my office and I'll do more research to ensure that we're getting all the information that we can. We'll meet or talk tomorrow, and then we'll determine and set the new price. So all we need to do now is sign the contract. Again, moving to close on the contract, we isolated the price from us. We're saying, hey, I can't determine the price here tonight. This might come up in cases where you might show up on the listing presentation and you have your comps, but you haven't seen the interior of the property. You get there and maybe the property's extremely over improved for the area, or they have an addition that wasn't disclosed to you, or maybe they finished the basement and it wasn't showing up on county records or something like that. Now we have to go back and we have to do more research. Instead of doing a two-step process, though, where we're walking away from the listing presentation, losing the opportunity to close, we're going ahead and moving forward with closing with us, and then doing our homework and research to come back later to secure the price. This technique can also be used in the fall and the winter time when people say that they would rather relist in the spring. Now, moving into the next couple months, we're going to start getting this a lot, where we have people that are going to say, I'm just going to try again next spring. Go ahead and move and close the contract. I call it listing banking, where I'm banking listings for the market in the future, for February, for March, for April, for May, to go on the market then. Yet I'm getting the contract signed today. And in those cases, we don't know what the price is going to be, or we're going to have to readdress the price in that market to ensure that we're getting accurate valuation. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now and pause for questions or comments on what we just went over. Yes, this script is actually available under Module 2. It should be available under Module 2 downloads. It should be in there. Next question. Any other questions? Well, if there's nothing else today, then we'll go ahead and end this. I did happen to be able to record this one, so I'll set this up because I know I went through a couple different scripts there. And we will close out this week. And you guys stay focused on the homework. Get those calls in. Build that habit. And we will. We will talk next week. Okay. Have a great night. Great afternoon.